gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Stuck in the Middle podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Uncle AK.
And I'm Reflex. Hey,
Yes,
cheat. Cameroon is leading 2-0 or 2-1. By the time this podcast is over, we'll probably lose. Welcome, everybody checking this podcast out, man. We appreciate y'all checking it out on a weekly basis. Hey, appreciate y'all. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We are on all social media platforms, SITM Podcast. I want to remind you, this episode is sponsored by Perfect Office Solution. They provide office space for entrepreneurs in the DMV area. So if you hit them up, let them know we sent you. You get 10% off your lease. That's SITM Podcast. That's a promo code. AK.
Yes, sir. This week, we've been rolling out a bunch of
blogs,
blog posts and stuff. Hey, if you haven't checked out our blog section, man, you definitely got to. We got some dope writers, come in and share perspectives on success, procrastination, stuff like that. So
SITMpodcast.com.
Yeah, man, blogs, man, check it out. Yeah. We have a very special guest in the building, man.
I'm excited, bro.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this one because we're about to get some nuggets on how to make our videos better. You know what I mean?
How to shine.
How to shine. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure it could give us some tips on how to get some more subscribers too.
This brother is shining, man. He's out here doing his thing, man. We got a special guest in the building, like Edgar said, man.
Let him know.
Yeah, man. He is a videographer, video producer, director, artist, Miguel Asua. Welcome to Stuck in the Middle podcast, bro.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, man. Long time coming, bro.
I know, man.
How you feeling, brother?
Man, I feel great. I am so blessed, bro. I'm just happy to be amongst y'all right now, man.
Hey, that's dope, man. That's dope.
Yo, let's get into it, bro. Let's get into it, man. Who is Miguel, dog?
Ooh, man, that's a deep question, man. That's like one of those questions that, how they say you sit down and really reflect on yourself.
Yeah.
We don't do that a lot. Who is Miguel? Miguel is a guy trying to make a lot of things out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? A guy that's took nothing and is steady trying to understand who he is in the creative world, in the business world, and mind, body, and soul, man. That is Miguel, someone who's trying to figure things out right now.
I feel like we're always, trying to figure things out.
That journey, man. Like he said when we walked in, I'm stuck in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to unpack that, but you came on time, and I was still up, like getting ready, and I was like, why he come on time? And
hey,
my man Alex was like, he a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Like, so talk about your background. You know what I'm saying? Like, and where you are right now. What's your backstory?
Man, my background is so broad. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start for real. I was born in Cameroon, like I think everyone here. Born in Cameroon. Shout out to the Boya boys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Even I was in Douala for the rest of my life. But I left Cameroon at a very early age, man, about 2 or 3 years old, and I moved here, and I was living with my American family. So, born in Cameroon, I grew up in Houston, Texas. That's where all this, Southside, H-Town, swag comes from or whatnot. Moved back up here. I think 5th grade or something like that, around when I met a Cheery and them, you know what I'm saying? Then I got kicked out, moved back to Texas. So
kicked out of school?
Kicked out, man. Yeah, we used to be a little rambunctious back then, but I ended up getting sent to boarding school. Spent about 2-3 years in Cameroon. And I said, shout out to the Sobans, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all watching.
Shout out.
And came back here, man, and got back to everything I grew up with. It's a culture shock when you leave here, go back home, and then you come back. It's like you left one world and went to another, and then you lose certain things. So you're literally stuck in the middle, like this podcast represents, man. So that was my background. You know what I'm saying? I finally got back here full time in college, and it's been a tremendous journey, man. Trying to figure things out and making a lot of mistakes, man. That's the background leading up to now, man. I've just had opportunities that have met my preparation. I've made a lot of mistakes that taught me more, and I'm at the point now where I'm trying to figure it out on a different level, to truly be who I see myself being as a professional,
Man, that's tough.
Yo, you're born in Cameroon, raised in the States. True definition of being stuck in the middle.
And,
man. To add on to that, you took the non-traditional route, meaning, the lawyer, doctor, engineer, or disgraced your family, and became a videographer, producer. Bro, speak a little bit about, your background leading to that, and also how family, took that.
Oh, man, it's been, you know us, man, when you grow up in a household and you do anything contrary to trying to be a doctor, you're not reading your books every day, they automatically cast you as a wayward or a stubborn child, or or the child who's going to give them a lot of problem. That was my curse growing up. I was fortunate to have an American family who was strictly in the arts. My older brother's a platinum artist down south. I grew up around a lot of big time artists, from music to other aspects of art, dancers and stuff like that. So when it got to college, I was a pre-med student. I was a pre-med, I think biology and some other stuff major, and then I was a communications minor and music minor. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that at the end of the day, the path that would please my family is the path that, you know, would lead me to be some kind of doctor. You know, I was privileged to get a job at NIH. A neighbor we had at the time, she worked at NIH, and she found out what my major was, and she gave me an internship that turned into a job, and I have never been this miserable in my life, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like going to work.
Yeah.
This is NIH, man. You got NIH on your resume as anyone in the medical field or trying to get a career. NIH is the top dog as far as research is concerned. But when I say, man, going there every single day, man, I would be surrounded by these accomplished doctors and, you know, all these Indians and, you know, white folks. So it was a whole different world on that aspect as well. And then I would walk in the lab and I'm like, hey, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? You know, hey, y'all shining, man. It's a great day. I'm just excited about life and the energy.
Different energy, yeah.
Man, listen, everyone just looks up and looks at me like, who is this young black kid coming in every day? I was miserable, man. Everything that from the time I got into the time I left, man, I didn't know what I was doing there. You know what I'm saying? When it was time for my contract to get renewed, I told him I don't want to renew my contract. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have anything lined up?
I didn't have nothing lined up, bro. My life is literally a life of faith, bro. I've been closing my eyes and jumping for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I went back to school the following semester. I changed my major, bro. I'm like, all this biology crap, I can't do this, man. If this is what it's going to take for me to be successful, then I don't want success. You know what I'm saying? Because I choose my peace and happiness over everything, man. I switched my major around, so I got rid of biology. I made communications my major and music my minor, and it's been like open doors ever since, man. Got a job at a radio station, an internship at a radio station, internship at WSA Channel 9 for the biggest anchor at the time, J.C. Hayward. You know what I'm saying? So learned a lot, man. I started off doing voiceovers for radio for
y'all heard that voice?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I wasn't gonna put it on y'all like that, but you know. Yeah, man. But since then, it's just been like open doors. The first people don't even know. Can
Yeah.
Okay, nigga, nah. One of the first African voices, representation, the voices in the DMV, bro. I don't know if y'all used to listen to that skit on the Russ Parr Morning Show. I think they end up calling her Miss Fufu or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Before they did that as an intern, I was doing that on air. On the Russ Parr Morning Show, he would just call me like, hey, just, you know, do your thing. And you know, so fast forward later when I see us, like, they playing Afrobeats on the radio, man.
Facts, yo.
It feels good to know that, you know, in my small little area, that I was a part of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so went from the radio. The story of me picking up a camera, it's still very blurry to me because it was one thing that just led to another. Found a camera, started looking at visuals and just going out and having fun. And then it sort of turned into something that I could see myself doing because of the people I'm meeting. You know, I love anything that challenges me creatively. You know what I'm saying? So it just went from me picking up a camera, learning, YouTubing, asking questions, making a lot of mistakes. And I'm still doing the music thing on the side, but that's like, I found a career. I found a fascination for turning a concept into a script, into a visual, and then delivering it, and then seeing how the client reacts to that. You know what I'm saying? So it just led from that to, you know, me doing the exact same thing and being persistent. And even in my stage now, you know, still being persistent to elevate and grow even some more. So that's sort of the background leading to now.
Leading to, you know, so you found in Asua Films. Yeah, I'm saying that right, Asua Films?
So my name is Miguel Asua. You know, camera. But you know, I got tired of explaining myself, so I just said, you know, Asua. Just say Asua. You know what I'm saying? But it in 2011, I think it was Asua Light. My great grandmother that passed away, rest in peace. She told me, you are a light to the world. You're going to be a light to the world. Till today, I don't know what Aswa means. No one in my family seems to know, but my uncle has a name. So me thinking about my grandmother, man, she just always told me, you are a light to the world. That's part of where all this shine and stuff comes. You know what I'm saying? I say just to promote positivity and just love, you know what I'm saying? But she was like, you are light to the world. Take that and run with it. I started my company, Asua Light. It was like, it made sense to me.
Right, yeah.
And then light also represents everything visual. If you're a photographer or anyone who lives in the creative world, you know, light is the basis of everything we do. If you don't have light for your videos, everything gonna look like trash. Even a camera is not gonna be able to capture an image without light. Right. So it for me, it was like a double entendre. I don't know if that's the right word, double entendre. Where I saw light, it just kind of made sense. So, I just started the company, man. I didn't know what I was doing. I just know if I'm going to do something, I'm all in. I don't know how to do the gray areas. I'm either going to do something or I'm not. And, man, I was just taking my camera everywhere, man, you know, finding opportunities, creating opportunities for myself. And people, you know, people don't take you serious at first until you start, until they start seeing momentum, you know what I'm saying? A mentor of mine, he was like, you will never be a professional until you start making money from what you're doing. And you know, I just started finding ways to get money, man. You know, I'm talking about charging for like food, you know what I'm saying? And then me finding ways to not charge for equipment, and then finding ways to not charge so the business can grow. You know, yeah, man. I'm not sure if I answered the question.
No, you did.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just to add on to that, I was just reading a tweet the other day. It's kind of sad, you know, people don't take it serious till you actually start, you know, securing the bag.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to, you know what I'm saying, like hop on a bandwagon, I can call it, until you're winning out here.
And it's such a shame because the majority of those people are people who you would consider that you would automatically get some type of love from, or some type of support. Your family, I'm sorry to say, man, your family and friends, they will be the main ones that do not believe in your vision until other folks that don't know you appreciate your vision. You know what I'm saying?
On the outside.
It took me. I've been doing this for so long, in my small minuscule level. It wasn't until like maybe 2017 or 2018 when I did a project for somebody major. And I had been doing stuff. I just don't promote at the time. I just wouldn't put stuff out like that. But it got to the point where people started seeing me now. I was like, oh, this nigga really serious. But in my mind, it's I don't want your support now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good now. Like, it ain't nothing you can do for me, but pray for me. You know what I'm saying? But even family, man, it takes them a long time to just accept the fact that you're trying to do something that is unconventional. Because what they're looking at is the 90% of people who fail doing this. You know what I'm saying? But what they also fail to realize is they're not looking at you. They're not even bothering to look at you and see how not just passion is one thing. If you're good at it, that's another thing. If you found a way to make things happen, you got all three. And if you got faith and you really believe in yourself, dog, can't nobody stop you. But they don't see that. You know what I'm saying? All they see is you trying to do something that is way worse than just go out and be a dog. If y'all support me and help me reach where I want to be creatively or on this level, being a doctor making $100,000+ a year, I could do that in a month for real. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they don't see. It's like when I do these weddings, I do a lot of like you know, relatively expensive weddings.
Facts, yeah. It's all on the website, yeah.
I get to be creative, you know what I'm saying? I truly get to be creative, and that comes with a cost. But like when I do these weddings, if I tell you how much disrespect I receive sometimes.
Oh, from African weddings.
And it's mostly from older, you know what I'm saying? Our aunties and uncles, man. Like, I don't know, like when they see you doing something that just looks like it's disposable, they don't truly believe that it's a profession. You know what I'm saying?
You're not the first person to say that.
I'm telling you, man, like I have more patience than a lot of people I know. So I also grew up in a household from Cameroon to America. It was hard knock, you know what I'm saying? So I can take a punch and still humble and be respectful, you know what I'm saying? But I've had to like hold my camera guy like, hey man, chill out, just take a walk, man. Just, you know, she doesn't mean any harm. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to clean it up for him. But I know in the back of my mind, auntie is wrong, man. She shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't take it serious. But then when they see you in the parking lot and you shining in the parking lot and you driving off with something, you know what I'm saying? Now they start to think, or they see you, or they finally see the work. And they realize, you know, because whoever's paying for it, they always come, you know what I'm saying? When they realize how much they pay for that, their perspective starts to change. Yeah. So on one end, I really can't blame them because they grew up in a society where having perspective was damn near illegal. You know what I'm saying? And we're over here, you know, taking the world by storm, doing everything that they were told they couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. We just got to, you know, deal with what we have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dre Vision because he said the exact same thing.
Yeah. He's a photographer out in
I'm
Dallas.
telling you, man.
Dallas or Austin?
Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now you mentioned you landed an editing gig at the National Geographics.
Yeah.
And the rest was history.
Yeah,
Speak a
yeah.
little bit about that and how that propelled you to be who you are today.
So prior to me getting to Nat Geo, I was at Bowie State. I went to Bowie State University. Shout out to the Bulldogs. Shout out to the Bros, A5A. You already know.
Hey.
So I graduated. Prior to me graduating, my academic advisor, I think is what they call them, she was like, you should really go to grad school. Because this is around the time where everyone knew I was working with cameras. I think they thought I was a photographer, but that's another story. So she was like, you should really pursue this and go to grad school.
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't take it no serious at that point. I'm like, man, I got all these student loans, man, forget grad school. I don't need it. I could hop on YouTube and learn everything I need to know, because Bowie didn't. At the time, Bowie State did not prepare me for a career. Okay, I learned a lot, but a career, a pragmatic career with running a business. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A creative business. So YouTube was my number one tool, man.
Shout out YouTube University.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, like, don't sleep on it, man. You can learn anything you want to know. So I sarcastically, to please her, I applied to the best program in the best school for communications in this area, and that was at the time American University. And it was a weekend program, so I figured I could, grind Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, deal with grad school. So anyways, I went to grad school and I made so many connections, man. If I had to promote someone going to school, it would be for that. It would be for the relationships that you build, the connection that you're able to make. Spike Lee, everyone that he went to school with there in his movies, he started off a career using his friends. Everyone did something that that could have helped him build his empire. You know what I'm saying? A lot of folks utilize folks that they go to school school with. You know what I'm saying? So the relationships I built, man, I applied for a job at Nat Geo, not even thinking, coming out the gate, even with a degree, you need experience if you're trying to get into the professional world.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess AU on my resume, I guess sweeten up the deal a little bit. Like, he's trying to, really, and then my mentor at the time, I have a lot of mentors depending on what I'm doing in my life. You know what I'm saying? One of my mentors wrote me a recommendation letter to Nat Geo because he produced for IMAX and a whole bunch of networks, like on some major high budget projects. So I guess that email was icing on the cake, like, okay, let's give him an interview. Of course, young black, shining, full suit on, shining. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't tell me nothing. So by the grace of God, I was able to get that job at Nat Geo, and that became sort of like the base for my professional career. You know what I'm saying? Because in TV and news, it's really hard to get in. But once you're in and you do what you're supposed to do and you're professional, it'll lead to other things. Everyone comes in. Well, majority of people come in as freelancers. That's just the way the industry is. So you come in hoping to do 3 to 6 months, praying that your contract gets renewed, or they call you back, or they don't forget about you. And I was fortunate enough to be able to, maintain good relationships at Nat Geo. And after that, they kept calling me to come back. I did my last project with them a few months ago. So Nat Geo was definitely the first career move, you know what I'm saying? That I was able to
been on CNN and all kinds of stuff.
Man.
Chill with Wolf Blitzer and all that. I want to backtrack a little bit though, you know what I'm saying? Like from, the professional career world to, the business.
Yeah.
You said you started, Asua Films in No Capital.
Yeah.
Man, speak a little bit about that, you know what I'm saying, like that. What was that, moment like to just say, man, forget it, let's go?
Man, so for me, I'm all in. This has been my life. I'm either gonna do something or I'm not. If once I set my mind that I was gonna, try to make a career out of this, it's okay. The basis of being a business owner is you gotta protect the business. You gotta have a name you gotta have a brand. So I just decided that LegalZoom, shout out to LegalZoom.com. At the time, I couldn't afford to go find a lawyer or go find this person, or I didn't have the time to go to these different offices and do all this paperwork. So I was trying to find the most cost-effective way to start a business. So I went to LegalZoom. I just put in the name, click. I saved up for it. So so there was capital in terms of me having to save up for that. But it was months on months. At the time, I ain't really, I was hurting, you know what I'm saying, financially. So I had to really save up, man, a little piece here, whatever I had worked, started the LLC. And from then it was like, okay, now I got the business. I could finesse everything else, man. Shit, I could finesse. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I know I'm gonna pray about this, man. I'm gonna give it my all. And I was going through a lot at the time, man. You know, when you're going through certain life-changing situations, your mindset is different. You're not looking at nothing is impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like when your back is against the wall, you make things happen. You know what I'm saying? So I found a way to get one little client. You know what I'm saying? The money I made from that, I, you know, saved up a little bit, got a little camera, a little cheap camera. You know what I'm saying? I had a laptop, a PC at the time. Dog, you couldn't even edit photos on this thing. You know what I'm saying? But I made it work. So released that. My first wedding video I did for my cousin, and she gave me the opportunity because one, is free for her. I'm trying to learn my little situation. That
Put a
shit
little resume together.
Bro, it went viral. Till today, you can look on YouTube. It's African Asian wedding, and it's around the time when niggas wasn't putting out wedding videos like that. The new age wedding videos where it's like a highlight reel. Back then, they used to put out a 30-minute video, and it was boring as hell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So one, the title was catchy as hell. It was African Asian wedding. So and this around when YouTube was still like growing to be this big empire that it is now for content. And so the video went viral, man. Like my cousin and her husband, they were on all kind of wedding blogs. So that brought me some more business. So now, and when I watch it now, I cringe because that video was so nigga, like it's fucking awful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I was able to finesse. I got 1 or 2 clients from that. The money I made from that, I bought little lights. You know what I'm saying? I would just work my way up because my mentor told me, take your time. He said, don't rush into this, man. You will learn and be and have everything if you just take your time and allow yourself to live in the moment. Build with your clients. Do good business. Be consistent. Everything else is going to come. And he has not lied to me yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I started with little to no capital. Like the most amount of money that I used was for creating the business. You know what I'm saying? And even that, it was a long time saving to get to the point where I could just cash out and make it happen. You know, so little by little, you know.
I love it.
Yeah, you talk about you talk about consistency. You talk about, you know, taking your time and all that. Man, we're leaving a microwave generation, right, where everybody wants everything, you know, to come fast and stuff. Just speak a little bit more on this whole concept of, you know, taking your time and being consistent in terms of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. You know, a lot of folks, I think there's a misconception that you can shortchange the process. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you learn by going through a process, which takes time, that becomes inexpensive, very expensive learning tools. You know what I'm saying? If I'm working a wedding, right, or if I'm shooting a video, a commercial, or whatever it is, and I know that, okay, I need to come in, or like prior to me doing it, I need to come in as an intern, right? Because I need to learn. I don't know how to handle this process. I don't know how to run this. It looks good to the naked eye, but there's so many pieces behind scenes that you don't see. You don't see the person over the consultant calling everybody, trying to make sure everything is, you know what I'm saying, that they got the numbers and everything. You don't see the producer over there.
Shout out to
you know what I'm saying? Like real talk, like they don't see the big machine that is behind the project. So when you try to go from you only want to be a PA, you want to be the director. Dog, nigga, do you know how to direct? Can you look at somebody and be like, hey, dog, cry. Right now, cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you make them feel like they are the only person in the room, forgetting that there's 20 people behind them, plus lights, plus all kind of craziness. You know what I'm saying? These people have worked and spent so much amount of time, so much time to invest in being the best that they are in their field. So you can't just skip from being a PA, bro, to being a director. Now, granted, you might be the most talented nigga in the world, but at the end of the day, you don't have the experience. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the relationships. And even if you do, you will embarrass yourselves because you will find yourself in a situation to where you can't handle or solve certain problems that only come with experience. You know what I'm saying? When one of these lights falls down, if I don't know that I got to keep gaffer tape on me at all times, you know what I'm saying? I will have a chaotic set. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how to solve that little problem that I would have learned through experience. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody who was doing their thing, man. But you cannot escape the process no matter who you are. I don't care who you are. No matter what discipline, you got to go through the process and put in that time, man. That's the only way to build longevity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I like it, man. You know, it's summertime right now. Biggest season for a lot of weddings and stuff like that. You know, what's your biggest clientele in business right now this season? And what services do you offer as far as Asua Films?
Yeah, so Asua Films, man, I primarily produce, and we handle the whole gamut of projects from pre to production and post. You know what I'm saying? As of date, my biggest, it really depends on what you consider big, though. Like,
I'm saying, like, you know, what's hot right now? Is it weddings or music videos?
Okay, like what's really going on, man? This is wedding season, wedding and music. You know, when it gets warm outside, people don't know how to act, and they schedule things for that. You know what I'm saying? So wedding season is definitely popping right now.
You're busy.
Man, listen, God is good. God is good, you know. But I haven't really been doing too many weddings lately, man. I really haven't had it. I've only done 2 weddings this year so far, and I have like 3 more throughout the summer. But compared to last year, man, like that was my main source of income. But there's certain things that comes with that too. You know what I'm saying? So when you find what your niche is, you got to try to stay in that lane. So I've been exploring more production types. So I can learn more and, you know, make more mistakes so I can be more prepared for other projects. So I'm doing a lot of corporate stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not as creative as a music video or you know, something that you might see on TV or something like that, but it teaches you a whole different dynamic of video production, because there's certain things that they look at that might give me perspective if I want to do a short film 2 months from now. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in just letting the process play out, man. So but music videos and weddings are definitely popping right now. You know, shout out to everybody who's out there sweating to make people look good on camera. Hey, man, keep doing your thing.
True. Man.
Already.
Man, I was also reading about Motion Dynasty. What's the difference between that and?
Oh man, oh man, y'all win, man. Y'all did y'all research, man.
We stay on it.
Okay, yeah. Motion Dynasty, man. I started that so when I was, you know, still trying to figure things out earlier. I figured, you know what, I don't want to mix my brands, because I started doing corporate things. I started doing corporate jobs. You know what I'm saying? And when you're working a corporate production, they keep the same kind of clientele. It's a very small world. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't want to see is you out here acting a fool. If you're working with us, we don't want to see you out there dealing with a bunch of rappers with a bunch of bitches and naked titties and da da da. You know what I'm saying? It's bad for business on that side. You know what I'm saying? So I figured, let me find a way to separate what I'm doing, and so I can cater to different demographics simultaneously without them clashing or overlapping. So I created Motion Dynasty with a bunch of folks that I went to grad school with. They were on the production side. I was on the business side of video production, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to get these folks, and I'm like, look, man, you guys are phenomenal with the cameras. You guys got the sound, everything as far as shooting, you guys can handle it. You know what I'm saying? I got some folks over here, the connections, and I want to make sure that I can bridge that gap. And y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to get a group of friends, and we started something which became Motion Dynasty, and it was primarily for music videos, lifestyle videos, everything that I might not want the other clientele to sort of see or know about. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't last long, because as soon as grad school was kind of over, people got jobs, which is a good thing. You know, a bunch of my grad school friends got jobs in LA, New York, so everyone just sort of dispersed, and I couldn't handle everything. So I sort of dissolved that. And, you know, but we ironically, we still work on projects. Everyone is in their world doing their niche. I'm talking about shine. I'm talking about like really, really shining. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then we still collab on projects, but Motion Dynasty just couldn't handle, you know, growing to the level that I wanted it to be. Right. You know, yeah.
As far as collaboration, right? And you might probably attest to this, like musicians. You don't necessarily have to go all the way to LA, you know, to collab with a musician. Yeah. I don't know if it's the same with videographers.
It depends on what phase of video production, because if we're doing, let's say, pre-production, like for instance, this project I'm working on now, there are about 25 people working on the project. And everyone lives in different states. So the only way to work on the pre-production part, if we have a script writer in Atlanta, that's where she lives. So we just, you know, we have video conference calls, we have production meetings, and we all hop on the call, so we're all on the same page. But certain people can do things remotely. Like you can, from a conversation or a meeting, the script writer knows and has everything that she needs as far as material to do her job. You know what I'm saying? And between that and emails, you can make things happen. Now there's another side, the execution, which becomes harder when everyone lives in different states. You know what I'm saying? So that phase I wouldn't recommend, because even if you do delegate, let's say I shoot here and I send it to Harold over there in LA to edit the footage, I would still want him to be a part, to be present, so he can know how we shot everything and really feel it and have that ergonomic, you know what I'm saying, hands-on experience that you can't get, or that organic feel, that becomes very difficult. People do it, but you lose. I feel like you lose a part of the energy that comes with that production when you do it that way, you know. So, and then on top of that, trust too. You know, I can't really, you know, I can depend on somebody, but I never know exactly what they're doing or how much time they're putting in if we're so far away. You know what I'm saying? So you can get away with certain things that you might not get away with if we're physical and you know, like in front of each other. Present.
Real quick, you know what I'm saying, dream collabo, you know what I'm saying, somebody you want to shoot for that you haven't shot for, or you want to involve in like a short film or project that, you know what I'm saying, like,
it depends. Like, what are we talking about? Like, are we talking about music videos, short films,
short film music, somebody want to throw in a film, or somebody want to shoot a video for?
Man, dog, I try not to make those kind of hopes or aspirations, because I like to let myself see what I'm enjoying, what I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? And then when I get to the point to where I know this is my niche, then I start thinking next level. But one person I know for a fact that if God given the opportunity to work with them, I might just shit on myself, man, is Andre 3000. You know what I'm saying? I want to shoot a very organic, just mind-boggling video with Andre 3000, man. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I just want to mentally take his voice, his music, and put it behind a visual that will mess people up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's one person that, you know, that's my favorite artist as far as rap. But I would love to work with him, man. As far as filmmakers, I like Spike Lee a lot. You know, I like him a lot because of his again, organic feel to his cuts, to his films. You know what I'm saying? He will compromise the transition and bring it back. You'll see somebody hug the person 3 times from different angles. Those are what people in the industry will tell you.
It's a no-no.
It's a no-no. But Spike Lee's, dog, that nigga been doing his own thing, and he's still doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Antoine Fuqua, you know what I'm saying? That's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's certain filmmakers I just appreciate their work. James Cameron, when it comes to these super high-end, multi-million-dollar tentpole films, you know what I'm saying? He has a creative vision that created the Avatar. I'm talking about, like, I don't even know how you can organize a crew of over 300 people and handle that kind of money to produce a project, and you're taking, what, for 10 years to work on it. I want to get in your mind, you know what I'm saying? I want to know how you work, how you operate. What are you doing in the morning? What are you reading? You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of folks that I would love to work with, you know what I'm saying? But I also firmly believe in, I'm working with y'all today, you know what I'm saying? I'm building and learning with y'all today, you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow I'm gonna let the wave take me somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? And things happening naturally has been sort of a major blessing for me in my career. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I like to keep that format and just naturally feel the moment, and, you know what I'm saying, really enjoy every step, you know what I'm saying?
I dig it. I dig it.
Man, we were just talking earlier about music video shot in Cameroon and stuff like that, and you were also talking about bringing your talent back, you know, back home. Yeah. Speak a little bit about, you know, where you see interest in terms of production, right? Cameroon music industry, or African, you know, production in general.
Man, look, if we quit all this bullshit that we got going on in Cameroon, and we have the opportunity to really showcase and highlight our minds and our talents and our people, dog, I don't think the world is ready, man. You know what I'm saying? We have so much talent in Cameroon. It's ridiculous, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to invest, man. I've thought about it. I've had real conversations. I've had a draft of a business plan written of things that I would love to do, but the climate is not conducive for any kind of creative nothing right now. You know what I'm saying? You could barely run a business in certain areas without, you know, having to feel like they finna come swipe everything off you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Like, that is a question that I think other factors need to be aligned for people like us to, you know, want to move forward. And they say we're the ones that are supposed to create change, but you can't really do much from over here. You know what I'm saying? And even when you go over there, this is a bigger conversation. We talking about governments and, you know, like, this is a bigger fight. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to invest, man, but things got to be right. I can't work hard over here, raise X amount of money, take it back, knowing that tomorrow is not promised for the business. You know what I'm saying?
Fact,
Yeah.
Anything we ain't touching that you want to throw out there before we
Nah, man.
How can people connect with you? You know what I'm saying? Learn more about the business. And
Yeah. So, man, y'all can connect with me on the gram. I am Miguel Asua on the gram. Also follow the business page. That's Asua. I think it's Asua LLC on the gram. And my website, www.asualight.com. Just follow me, man. Show love. I always show love back. You know, I'm very big on peace and love and energy. You know what I'm saying? So give me great energy and help me be creative, man. I need that for the work. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I dig it, man. Appreciate you coming through.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. You know?
Yeah, man. It's been dope. It's been dope. And listen, if you enjoyed what you listened and heard and watched, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, SITM Podcast on all social media platforms. Again, this episode was sponsored by Perfect Office Solution, providing office space for entrepreneurs in the DMV area. Go get your office space. SITM Podcast, name of the promo code, get 10% off, man. AK.
Shout out to the Night Jets, man. Y'all beat us today.
Yeah, man. I told you by the time this podcast be over, we'll lose. Dang, I jinxed it. Hey, shoot.
Damn.
Hey, man. 3-2. Shout out to, to the Super Eagles. Cameroon, we lost. I was peeping the score while we was recording. It's all good. We still the champs. We're going to be back in 2 years. Okay, man. We finna hit Silver Spring real quick. Shout out to Nigeria Jollof Wars.
Hey, man.
Ghana Jollof Wars, Cameroon Jollof Wars. We finna see what y'all working with.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Stuck in the Middle Podcast. We had the pleasure of speaking with Miguel Asua.
Hey, man, I'm stuck in the middle, baby. I appreciate y'all for having me. Yes, sir, this is a great thing y'all got going on, man. For real, appreciate y'all.
Hey, man, the Stuck in the Middle Podcast.
We out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.